Why study AI? All makes computers more useful. Intelligent computer would have huge impact on civilizations. AI cities, fields would most like to be in by scientists in all fields. Computer is a good metaphor for talking and thinking about intelligence. Turing theory into working programs forces to use to work us to work out the details. AI yield good results for computer science. AI yield good results for other fields. Computer make good experimental subjective personal motivation mastery. What is the definition of AI? What do you think? Systems that think like humans, systems that act like humans, systems that think rationally, systems that act rationally. Bellman 1978, the automations of activity that be associated with human thinkings. Activities such as decision thinking, problem solving learnings. Now, Charnock and McDermott 1985 the study of mental faculties through the use of computational models. Dean et al. 1995 the design and study of computer programs as would a humans or an animals whose behavior be considered intelligent. Now, Husland 1985, the existing new effort to make computers think machines with mind in the full and lateral sense. Kurzweil 1990. The art of creating machines that perform function that requires intelligence when performed by peoples. Luger and Stabelsfield 1993. The branches of computer science that is concerned with the automations of intelligence behaviors. Now, Nelson's 1998. Many humans' mental activity, such as writing computers programs, doing mathematics, engaging in common sense reasoning, understanding language, and even driving and automobiles are said to demand intelligence. We would say that exhibits artificial intelligence. Rich and Knight 1991. The study of how to make computers do things at which at the moment people are better. Now, Skopkov 1990. A field of study that seek to explain and evaluate intelligent behaviors in terms of computational process. Now, Winston 1992. The study of the computational that make it possible to perceive reasons and acts. Approaches acting humanly. Turing test ultimate test for acting humanly. Computer and human both inaugurated by judges. Computer passes test if judges can't tell the difference. How effective is this test? Agent must have command of languages, have wide range of languages, demonstrative human traits, humor emotions, be able to reasons, be able to learn. Leoborn's prize Competition is modern version of Turing test. Examples: Alice Leoborn Prize winner for 2000 and 2001. Chinese room arguments. Imagine you are sitting in a room with a library of rule books, a bunch of blank exercise books, and a lot of writing at attendance. Still, your only contact with the external world is through two slots in the well labeled input and output. Occasionally, prices of paper with Chinese contracts characters come into your rooms through the input slot. Each time a piece of paper comes in through the input slot, your task is to find the actions in the rule books that match the pattern of Chinese characters on the pieces of papers. The rule book will tell you which pattern of characters to inscribe the appropriate pattern on blank pieces of paper. Once you have inscribed the appropriate pattern according to the rule book, your task is simply to push it out the output slots. By the way, you don't understand Chinese, nor be are you aware that the symbols that you are manipulating are Chinese symbols. In fact, the Chinese characters which you have been receiving as input have been questions about a story that the output you have been producing that been the appropriates, perhaps even insightful responsiveness to the questions asked, indeed to the outside questioners. Now your output have been so good that they are convenience that whosoever, whatever have been producing the response to their queries must be native speakers of or at least extremely fluent in Chinese. Do you understand Chinese? Sailor says no. What do you think? Is this is reflections, refutations of the possibilities of AI? The systems reply. The individual is just part of the overall systems which does understand Chinese. The robots reply. Put some capabilities in a robot along with perceiving, talking, etc. This agent would seem to have genuine understanding and mental states. Now, thinking humanly, approach to is thinking humanly requires knowledge of brain functions, that level of abstractions. How can we validate this? This is the focus of cognitive science. Approach third is thinking rationally. Aristotle attempts this. What are correct arguments or thought processes? Provided foundation of much of AI, not all intelligent behavior controlled by logics. What is our goals? What is the purpose of thinkings? Approach second is acting rationally, act to achieve goals. Given set of goals, rational behavior is doing the right things. Think which accept to minimize goals achievements. This is approach adopted by Russell and Norring. Now, foundation of AI's philosophies 450 BC, Socrates asked for algorithm to distinguish pious from non-pious individuals. Aristotle developed law for reasonings. Mathematics 1847 Boole introduced formal language for making logical reference inference. Economics 1776 Smith viewed economics as consisting of agents maximizing their own well-being payoff. Neuroscience 1861 study how brains process informations. Psychology 1879 cognitive psychology initiated. Linguistic 1957 Skinner studies behavioralistic approach to language learning. History of AI. CS based AI started with Dartmouth Conference 1956. Attendees John McCarthy, LISP application of logic to reasoning. Marvin Minsky popularized neural network slots and frames the society of the minds. Claude Shannon, computer checkers, information theory, open loop five ball juggling. Alan Novell and Herb Simon, general problem solvers. Now, AI question is that can we make something that is as intelligent as a humans? Can we make something that is as intelligent as a we? Can we make something that is evolutionary, self-improving, autonomous, and flexible? Can we save this plant 20 millions per year by pattern recognition? Can we save these banks 50 million years of automatic fraud detections? Can we start a new industry of hard handwriting recognition agents? Which of these exhaustive intelligence you beat somebody at chess? You prove a mathematical theorem using a set of known axioms. You need to buy some supplies, meet three different colleagues, return books to the library and exercise. You can plan your delay in such a way that everything is achieved in an efficient manner. You are a lawyer who is asked to defend someone. You scroll three similar cases in which the defendant was guilty and you turn down the potential client. A stranger passing you on the street notice your watch and ask, can you tell me the time? You say, it is 30. It is 3. You are told to find a large Phillips screwdrivers in a clatter's workrooms. You enter the rooms, search without falling over subject, and eventually find the screwdrivers.